Hey, what's up guys? I'm over here in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado and just camped out last night, and I want to make a video today talking about a subject on problems, because I want to show you another way of looking at them, because this is interesting. I learned this a little while ago and it's helped out a lot in my life. So we all seem to all have problems. Doesn't matter how well somebody's doing, there's always a problem with something, right? It could be a money problem, can be a person who's getting on your nerves, that person's the problem. And so when we have problems, most of the time it gets us stressed out, it gets us angry sometimes. It makes us, we get stirred up in these negative emotions. So today I want to share with you another way to look at these so-called problems that we have. And the way to look at it is simply to understand that there is never a problem. They are just events. So let me explain this, right? So when we say something's a problem, we're assuming that it's bad, that it's not good. But problems is really just a label that we put on something. It's just a judgment. It's like saying somebody, hey, that person is good looking and that person is ugly. It's just a label. And what happens is when we go ahead and label events in our life as a problem, automatically we have a negative association with that event, because problems are associated with a negative feeling of ours. This is it's an automatic thing in our life that we've trained ourselves to think. Sometimes people use other words, but that are kind of related to problems. Sometimes people go, we have a situation. It's kind of like a problem, So when we look at something, if we say that something is bad, we say that something is not good, then that means there could be nothing good coming out of that thing, that event. For example, I'm driving down the street, pop my tire. I run over a nail, pop my tire, and now I'm going to be late for my meeting. So in my mind, I'm like, damn, man, it's the problem. This sucks. Pop my tire. Now I gotta get out and put another spare on. Now I'm gonna be 30 minutes late for this meeting. So now it's gonna get me pissed off. I get all worked up, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna let it go, And then I go and get into the meeting, and then they're like, hey, what happened, man? You're late. I was like, yeah, you just get my text. Yeah, I got a pop tire. God, it sucks. God, I'm so pissed off. All right, I just need to let it go, man. So if we look at the situation, what really happened is I have a flat tire, and I need to get out of the car, and swap the tire out, put a spare on there. And that's it. But if I label it as a problem, then I'm putting a negative association to that event. So when I am late for my meeting, again, I can say, well, that's a problem, but that wasn't a problem. All there was something happened, which is now I'm 30 minutes late. I don't have to label it as a problem. I could just simply text the people I'm meeting, hey, had a flat tire, I'm going to be 30 minutes late. That's it. There's really no problem. See, problems are really just things that we label to situations, because we feel that the situation is not good for us, that we don't want this situation, But little do we know, though, is that we can't really see the outcome of all situations. What appear right now to be something that is not good for us, out of this situation could happen something that's good for us, Let's say at that flat tire, right? So then I have to go take it to a tire shop, So I'm like, okay, and I'm late for the meeting. Well, so I'm late for the meeting, but because I'm late for the meeting, maybe they had a chance to go ahead and discuss about something that they wouldn't have if I showed up, right on time. I gave them 30 extra minutes to talk about something, and it was perfect. They figured something out. I go in there. There's like, hey, Mike, we got to figure it out already. While you're late, we just talked it over, and this is what we had, and it worked out perfectly. Oh, great. There's no problem. Let's say that's that tire that busted. Now I got to take it to a tire shop. I go to a tire shop and get it swapped out. And then I meet somebody at the tire shop, maybe somebody that I can do future business with. You know, we're in the same niche, and suddenly he's like, yeah, give me your call and stuff. We can chat a little bit more. We chat, and before I know it, you know, we're doing some type of business. Things like this happen, you know, and we can't really, you know, foresee all the outcomes of an event. And to say that an event is bad is saying that nothing good can come out of this event. You know, somebody meets, you know, you're a guy and you meet a girl, you know, and you're like, man, gosh, she's perfect. You know, you hook up, you know, she's now your girlfriend. You're dating her for 2 years. You're like, oh, it's the best thing in my life. God, I'm so happy. And then something happens. She leaves you for somebody else at the end of 2 years. Now you're heartbroken. Now you're like, oh my God, this sucks. This is terrible, right? So what happened that was really good now turns into something that's bad, because now you're depressed. Now you don't want to eat. You don't want to work out. You just don't want to do anything. You just want to sit at home and just do nothing and watch TV and eat potato chips, you know? But then out of that, 6 months later, you meet somebody else. And this person is even more perfect than the last person. So now that situation that was bad 6 months ago now is a good situation. If that didn't happen, you wouldn't have been able to meet this new person in your life that was going to make you happy. So you see how things can happen, you know, and we can't really figure out the outcome on whether it's going to be good or bad because we can't foresee the future, you know. And if we label something as bad, we label it as a problem, we're basically saying that nothing good can ever come out of this situation. If we label something as oh, this is the best thing ever, okay, great. Now, that means that nothing bad can ever come out of that, and we know that is not true either. So, but it's okay though. Why? Because when we label something as good, it lifts us up, it makes us positive. When we label it as bad, it makes us feel unpleasant, gets us stressed out. So if we think of another situation, let's think of another one. You know, let's say somebody loses their job. They go into the office, someone goes, man, you're fired. Oh, man, you know, you got mortgage you got to pay, you got the stuff, now your bills are going to be late. What are you going to do? You owe this money. So it's terrible. So you could feel like, oh my God, this is a problem. You're stressing and everything's bad. But there's another way to look at this. That actually could be a good thing. And a lot of times it is. Why? Because you got fired. Now it gives you the opportunity to go and find another job, a job that's more fitting, a job that you're going to be more happier with. You know, maybe you can make more money in the next job. But you would have never had the opportunity to go and search for this job because you were content because you have an existing job now. So by that event happening and you were now forced to go and search for a job, it ended up being a good thing because now you find a job that works out even better than the last job. And so being fired was actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It may just look bad in the beginning. Let's say you're late a month. Well, what are they going to do? Put you in jail, you know? You're late a month on your bills or something. You know, I mean, things happen. It's okay. And then furthermore, now with this new job, now, you know, you're happier and it fits you even more and it allows you to get promoted even faster. And 3 months later, you get promoted and you're making a lot more money than you did in the last job, a lot more happier, and you're doing maybe exactly what you want to do. You know, you don't know about these things, you know, you can't foresee the future. And so because of that, we don't want to label anything as bad. We don't want to label anything as problematic. It's just events that happen. And when we see it in this way, it allows us to have less stress in our lives. That happened, but it's not that's a bad thing, you know, just happened. No big deal. What should I do now? I don't have money right now and I got a mortgage I got to pay and I'm short, you know, $700. Most of the time somebody will sit there and they'll be like, oh God, I'm so pissed off, I'm so stressed out, and we smoke a cigarette, I need to go get hammered and drink a beer or something, or just, you know, get all worked up. But that doesn't solve anything, right? What really solves this event, this thing, is figuring out how you're going to get the extra $700. Not get all worked up and get upset. So that's not a problem. I'm short $700. Okay, it's not a problem. I just need to find out, where can I go ahead and get this $700, or if it's okay for me to pay it later on. That's it. It's not a problem. See, when we think that way, now we don't have negative associations with it. And this will take a little bit of practice, a good amount, because we're all really conditioned to feel anytime when there are events that isn't directly benefiting us, or something that we don't like at that very moment, we get all worked up and now it is a problem. But just remember, we can't foresee the future, and things happen, and there are a lot of good things that happen from things that aren't really good. We see them as bad things. They're good things that happen from it. There always is. Our life a lot of times is, good and then bad and then bad and then good and then good and then good and bad and bad and good, bad. And just keeps going like a little roller coaster, up and down. Nobody goes perfect. Oh, I have 7 years and everything went good. No, it's always up and down. Maybe everything went good in one part of your life, like your job, you're doing really good, but maybe your personal life, it's up and down. Who knows? But our life is kind of like that, And by using this strategy and using this perception, this way of looking at things, allows you to have a more fulfilling and more happier life, because there's really aren't any problems. There's just things that happen, and there's action need to be taken. There's no problem. Don't put a judgment on it, And so that's it for today. Okay, there are no problems in life, just events. That was a long explanation. That's like almost a 12-minute explanation. All right. So thanks for watching, guys. And I'm creating a new site. Link will be below once it is up. Check it out. There'll be more tips and strategies on how to be happier. How to have more joy in your life. See ya.